A very good evening to our viewers. Welcome to the 1873 TV, your vision, your power, your vision on issues that matter, your power to inspire new thinking, new outcomes, and new possibilities. My name is Tinashe Mpasiri. Welcome to yet another exciting, informative, and insightful show. The 1873 Mentee Circle joining me as we could have a conversation on building a communities of shared interest. Yesterday, we were also joined by other mentees, members from the Mentee Circle who found this program very enlightening in the sense that the discussion that we had was around the idea of property. This evening, joining me on the with the 1873 Mentee Circles is none other than Mr. Mtumwa Mawere. Mr. Mawere, a very good evening and welcome to the 1873 TV.
Good evening and good evening to the viewers out there.
I'm also joined by four individuals, which I will name, starting with the lady, Kenyiwe Sindane. Welcome, Kenyiwe, and a very good evening.
Good evening, Tinashe. Thank you so much.
And then the gentleman starting from the left, Simba Kabara. Welcome and a very good evening to you.
Good evening to you, Tinashe.
Desire, a good evening to you as well.
Good evening, Tinashe.
And Oscar Tenye, a very good evening.
Good evening, Tinashe.
Yes, thank you so much for being part of this conversation, which seeks not only to equip yourselves as individuals, but more importantly, individuals who happen to be out there who are seeking for that address where they can actually get a mentor, where they can get a better understanding of what mentorship entails, and more importantly, what they have to offer as a mentee, as this happens to be an exchange of value. It's not just a one-way traffic situation. It's a two-way, whereby as a mentee, you also have to bring value to the table, because the mentor also is offering value. That's how communities are built at the end of the day. You cannot expect to reap where you have not sown. Yes, and these are lessons that we are basically also drawing from the conversations that are taking place on the 1873 FM, that is on the Continental Sunrise Breakfast Show. Before we get into this conversation, also one thing that I would advise the viewers out there to do tomorrow at between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m., Mr. Mawere will also be available on the 1873 Mentorship Program WhatsApp group to share insights, ideas, and his experiences. So if you want to be part of this discussion, all you have to do is go to the 1873 Network website. When you get there, register. It's free to register. Once you've registered, please connect with other individuals. Then join the 1873 Mentee Circle. Within that group, there is a link to the WhatsApp group that you can also be part of. To all those individuals who have also responded to the post that Mr. Mawere has posted on his Facebook page, I've also shared the link that you can click to join the WhatsApp group. So to the 58 individuals who have responded, yes, please go to that link and click it and book your place to be part of this mentorship program that will be taking place.
Be a part of an association.
Be part of something.
Be part of something.
Absolutely. Oh, that is forward-leaning at the end of the day.
Yes.
Okay, somebody says very antisocial group. Is that Jibra caution?
Where is that comment coming from, and on which platform is it coming from?
Is it Zimbabwe Today?
If you could just elaborate how antisocial we are. Is it because
We are live. Oh, by the way, if you're seeing us tweeting and whatnot,
Yeah,
because
please,
we're inviting more people
very
to
antisocial.
live.
Please put your phones away. I think Zanele, you raised a very important issue. But if we don't put our phones, if we put our phones away, how do we communicate with you? Because you are the reason why we are here. So please, just bear with us. We are with you all the way, but as the comments come in, please make sure that the comments are coming and they come either on the screen, they don't come into our eyes. I think next time we develop new technology, we should be able
Oh, it's so cute.
to find a way of communicating, maybe a screen. We should have a screen out there and make sure that we don't appear to be antisocial. I think Zanele has understood. Thank you. You should have explained that before. Thank you. I think communication is a two-way process. And I think Zanele, it's always good to have you because you make us alert. I think Raphael Moyo, the one you said you didn't inspire you at all on the birthday project. That was a valid point. I was talking to him today to say, please make sure you keep close to Zanele because Zanele just states it as it is. And that's what we need. More people like Zanele come forward and make this a community conversation. I think this morning, what was the show about? I think you guys were in the show.
Yes.
What were the key things that we can take home?
I think the fundamental thing that actually I picked up was as far as the philosopher Aristotle is concerned, the lessons that I can draw from his understanding of property as well. The aspect of private property in itself, that it entails the fact that when we talk about private property, this is property that belongs to a particular individual that one other individual cannot come through and be able to take from them. So that being said,
So you see, Zanele, you're already losing Zanele. So you must quickly and get to the point. So the moment you get into this is a show
yes.
for people to learn. If we wanted to create a community who have a shared understanding, or who want to develop a shared understanding of property, how many of you are interested in that subject matter?
Well, it's a subject matter that interests me very much.
Okay, that's one. Who else is interested?
I am, definitely.
And I hope, Zanele, you are also interested. And I think there's somebody else, I think it's Zanele who was making the points. Then MC Wildfire has joined us. He says there are extensive discussions of property in the writings of Plato, Aristotle, Aquinas, Hegel, Hobbes, Locke, Hume, Kant, Marx, and Mill. So the conversations around property are not new. They predate all of us. If that is the case, is it a subject that ought to occupy your time?
Yes, Mr. Mawere.
Okay.
Earlier on, before we got onto this program, we were actually looking at, we're having a conversation on the issue of Shabani Mashara mines. That is private property where where I as an individual have learned how the company was actually expropriated by the government of Zimbabwe and using a draconian law which actually breaches the constitutionality when it comes to what the constitution the provision.
So you're using one specific case. Then you are discussing property in a generic sense. How do we get the people out there to find reason to give up time to listen?
Okay.
And why are we gathered and talking about it? What is the societal interest in it? If there is, let's identify the interest so that we can get to a stage where people generally can open up, like the morning show. There were people who got out of their comfort zones
Yes.
to say they want to be part of this conversation
Yeah, absolutely.
because it was interesting
Yes.
to them. They learned something.
Yes.
They took something away. So part of the mentorship, which is what Molly was asking, she was saying, should mentorship also deal with the subject of ownership and property? And if so, those who are interested in being part of this community where ownership can occupy a portion of your free time and you can engage, please just indicate so. If you are listening, if you are watching, please take your time just to put something, because sometimes silence actually is more corrosive than saying something, even if it's bad, even if it's uninformed. What is the problem that we face today? If we were to look at ownership, the people in government, they believe, some of them, that they have a better claim on the gifts of nature, be it land, minerals, flora and fauna. The animals themselves that we look at, some even go after elephant horns and say, if I take the horns, who suffers? In fact, I'm helping you. Then the relationship between man and reality is one side. The relation between man and property is another. How is it that other people have a better relationship with property and others not? And what kind of property are we looking at? Are we talking about? Because when you look at value, a mineral that is not found, it has value in its own. You'll have so many percentage of chrome, so much ash content in coal. But what is the value of it? The gold may be there, the diamonds may be there, but it may be uneconomic to extract them because the market conditions do not allow it. So we have a lot of interest. When you talk about black and white racism, there are people who believe that whites have a favorable relationship with property. We don't know how it came about. We don't know why it sustains itself. Even after independence, we see people driving to gated homes, and we see the majority of the people on the wrong side of the mountain. So if you're one of them who is asking the reason why the world is shaped the way it is, why certain people live this side of the sun, some face the sun when they're driving to work, some also have the sun at their back when they're driving. So why do we live north, south, east, west? And why could I not just be at an address where I dream to be? So how do we deal with this issue called property? Because the base of it is gift of nature. Because there's nothing a human being can create in life of substance. Zero. So everything that we call valuable, those things that we don't want people to have access to without our permission, all those things except our bodies and minds, all those things are given for free
by nature.
by nature. So what is the purpose of life if we understand that the materials required to live life successfully are all provided for, and that we can't elect somebody to go into government to be an expert at allocating that which has already been given for free and it's in the common and public space. Whether it's hidden in form of minerals, whether it's exposed in form of water, we all know that we can't create water, but it's valuable. We know we can't create oxygen, but it's valuable. So how do we reconcile this? And which school do we go to? Who is prepared to teach us what Plato, in the ancient Greek civilization, what these people were talking about? And that's what Wildfire shared. The problem we face today is that many people talk about ownership property. Far too many people in our communities are profoundly ignorant and illiterate about the idea of property. Profound. Then you put LY. Which side are you on? There are many of the people are on the wrong side of knowledge, but they can't cure it because there's no clinic. When you are sick, it shows.
Yes.
But when you are deficient in terms of literacy, it can cause what? Arrogance, stubbornness, aggression. When you tell somebody who thinks they know everything, what is their immediate reaction? Is to undermine the knowledge.
That's true. I actually want to share.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
For me, actually, I like the inputs that I shared, especially because when you were going through Wildfire's post, I was actually reading through it because
Yeah.
I saw it this morning and I listened to the breakfast show. And one thing that actually stood out, I remember 2 months ago, right, Tanisha, we spoke about property ownership and possession. And we actually found out because we wanted to know if there's exhibitions about it. And we found out that there is an exhibition focusing on property in Cape Town. And I like what she said 2 days ago when you said, why can't we have a group about property literacy and find out who is interested? Because your question was, how do we then raise awareness? How do we then encourage people, not even encourage, but how can people be familiar with this particular subject? And again, that will rely solely on you as an individual to say, I am taking initiative not only to self-educate, but to associate myself with people who are going to teach me. And that's pretty much it.
But now, if you look at that an extension,
Yes.
there's no exhibition where knowledge is exhibited. Because knowledge is private. So if it is private, what is it that we seek to do in this? It's not to learn about property per se, trading of it, management of it, access to property. It's actually to learn about the genesis of this idea in the affairs of men. Do you agree that in the original part of the design of life, property was not part of it? Do you agree? That people were born. When they were born or created, when they were created in the animal kingdom, there is no exhibition. Why not? So if we go to an exhibition, we are already developed. But what if our minds never moved from that? We see buildings all over, we see cars all over, and you have someone says, I want a black bank. I want a black car. I want an African store. I want a township economy. So what is it? Haven't you heard people talking about all these problems? that I want a bank. Then you say, what kind of a bank would it be that is a black bank? Hmm? What kind of a car would it be that would be an African car? No, there are people. Definitely, we say we must beneficiate our own iron ore. We must build our own steel mills. We must do this. There are many communists around. There are many people like Karl Marx who also studied this relationship, which is property relationship. Why is it a few people seem to have a better relationship with matter and materials and others not? So we are going to the core of the organization of society as we know it. We know that there is inequality. And we also know that equality is not desirable. It's not beneficial. Because if it was, there would not be any effort. So we are unequal and we must celebrate inequality. Yet some people are actually getting PhDs to say, how do I remove inequality? Would you want to be equal?
No.
Imagine another musician comes here and says, guys, what you're doing is irrelevant. Huh? Actually, let's go to the studio and produce music. And you say, okay, I get inspiration. And this morning, you were with Mr. Welcome Swami.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was your experience?
Well, first of all, it was a great experience having to meet a legend, a person who's been in the game for quite a while, you know. And the most, the highlight of the whole conversation was when he started to relate to the music that we are spreading, to the sound that we're trying to educate people on. That was the most important thing. Because what's difficult is you getting to sing a song and nobody really, listens or understands, the message that you're trying to portray. But when Mr. Welcome, had to just listen, that was a really amazing feeling to have a man like him really relate to the stuff that you are singing. So me,
what time did you meet him?
It was in the I think just around 12. Around 2 years.
Okay, who is he?
I just got to know Mr. Welcome today, but I just know that he's one of South Africa's greatest.
No, so you guys are lazy. You guys are lazy. You see, when you meet somebody, what do you have to invest in? Knowing everything about him. He is a producer of albums, singles, compositions with SABC. He produced albums with EMI, 1975. Some of you were not born. He did an anthology of Zulu poetry, 1977. He did a language manual in isiZulu dance theater, 1983, that he co-authored. He was an author of political assessment with the Independent Development Trust, 1984. He was the author of the African Connection, Uhuru Sasa, 1985. He was the author of an SABC Political View, 1991. He was the author of Fundisa KwaZulu Education Department, 1992. He was a writer of a play, Heinemann, 1996. He was nominated for the Naledi Lifetime Achievement Theatre Award in 2008. He was also nominated for the Sir Lawrence Olivier Award. He was also awarded the Cultural Award by the Borough of Brooklyn in New York. He was also given a prize, Hansi Pollack Prize for Drama, which was in Durban. And he was a director of President Mandela's 75th birthday celebration, which is July 1993 to 1993, is it? Before the change of government. He was a director of presidential inauguration, 10th May. So if you had known about that, you would have asked me, how did he feel to see the first black president of the Republic of South Africa, where so many people had fought so hard to make sure that no black person would ever step into that union building as a principal. Then he was Musomi and Lascaris, co-founder and MD, 1994 to 1996. He was co-founder and CEO of Sasani Limited, 1996 to 1998. Director of Meropa Communications, 1996 to present. Director, founder of Zulu Dance Theatre and Music, Durban. Chair of the Path Empowerment Network, 2000 to present. Director of Meropa Communications, 2001 to present. Network BBDO, Chair, 2001 to present. Welcome Somi, Gateway Chair, 2002 to present. Welcome Somi Technologies, Chair, 2002 to present. Welcome Somi Communications, Chair, 2003 to present. Chair CCN, 2005 to present. Board Member SA Weather Services, Pretoria, 2005 to present. Director Ezinkulu Productions, 2005 to present. Chair Musomi Comprehensive Network, 2006 to present. Chair Africa Sports Network, Johannesburg, 2006 to present. Director Welcome Musomi Solutions, 2006 to present. Director MHMJ Concepts, 2006 to present. CEO Mandela Musomi Trading Enterprises, 2007 to present. Chair Musomi Call Centers, 2007 to present. He's also the chair of the Living Legends.
Now, he's chairing and directing more than 17
Campaign.
companies at a go.
And he was born on the 18th of November,
Sure.
1943 in Durban.
Imagine.
So-
70.
So he's a writer, director, choreographer, creator, Umbatha, the Zulu Macbeth, Drums of the World, a Mandela portrait with Michael Hankinson. So that's the man you met.
Imagine now being mentored by somebody like this, and I think that it gives perspective to everyone that's watching currently, that when we're saying mentor-mentee, like you said, Mr. M, we're not saying abuse the mentor, but what we're saying is, because there's a difference, right? Once you say we need to be interdependent and interrelated, one may confuse it into, let me depend on you and suck everything from you. We're saying that let's work together, but whilst working together, like you say, and I like what Truvop is always saying on the Breakfast Show, whilst we are interdependent and interrelated, but let's create that value for value. And you always say that, Tinashe, as well, it's about value proposition. So what we're trying to paint a picture, not that we're trying to, to drop names or anything, we're trying to paint a picture to say, Truverb was in the same room with Mr. Welcome Msomi, and they actually performed. And it also happened when Mam Dorothy Masugo was here, and she's constantly here. It's happening. And we're saying, come through and have a conversation. and learn from this amazing people, because you are amazing yourself. And we're trying to make it as practical as possible so that you can see. Hence, when we interviewed Bobby, and Bobby said, listen, I can actually make your visa process easier. Come to the UK,
So
because to the U exactly. Come to the US, travel, because when you travel, you become more conscious. And you learn a lot. You realize that, oh my God, I am so enlightened. And but for you to do that, save up. Save that money up. Let us see that you are willing to at least do something. And then with what you have, let's see how we can do. Because remember, when you do what makes you happy, you attract all the good things. And you attract all the right people, because they're seeing commitment from you. Hence, we're saying log on to www.their1873network.org, be a member. And if you're serious, we don't want to take your money and use it for
We
our
want
personal
the benefits.
things. No. It's for administration purposes. The fact that the website is running, that is money. So we're saying just cough out that 1,000 rands. And it's a once-off fee for the whole year. There's networking sessions, there's seminars, there's this and that. And let's use birthday celebrations, whatever it is that we're going to use as a meeting ground. Let's use that to meet up and connect you with industry experts so that you can hone your craft and skills.
So I think that's you have covered quite a lot. All corners. So if you're marketing, but you are actually doing a great job to just to educate people that nothing comes out of nothing.
Yes.
That knowledge itself is not costless. It's not free.
It comes with the price.
It's even just to occupy your time.
Yes.
Imagine you do it every day to no avail.
Yeah, I just wanted to add something in case there's someone who doesn't understand what we are talking about in terms of what we are saying about property. And what type of property are we talking about? Private, common property, or is it a physical property that we're only talking about, or what? But just to take you back to the root of this discussion, where we started from, or where we are starting from, is to say, and we'll keep on saying it even tomorrow as we progress, that the first property that we're talking about is that which you have to give to the world before you take from what has been made common to everyone. And what do we mean by giving to the world? What we mean by giving to the world, it means that you're giving your skills, your time, your creativity, and that which you put your creativity and time to, and become something of value, whatever that it is, that becomes your property. That becomes something that everyone would look at and say, you know what, this thing we all need, just like everything that we have here. And we'll keep on giving these examples. Just like what my fellow friends, colleagues who are here just mentioned about owning something. You own what you have put your sweat and your labor to. And everything that is in the world, has been given freely to you to maximize on. And there are no limits to you pulling out or extending your creativity. So there's a statement that I like that has been said by John Locke when he's talking about the world has been made common to all men, and it has been given to the industrious and the rational. Meaning to say that for us to have everything that we have now, someone took a step forward and took that time upon themselves to go and dig for metal, and transform it, or diamond, transform them from raw materials into finished products that we all want today. So we need to always remember that whatever that is out there in the world, whatever it is, whether it's a gadget, whether it's a vehicle, whether it's a house, someone has had to work towards bringing that a particular item into existence. The fact that they have done that, the fact that that individual has done that, we need to respect the labor that someone has put into that particular item. And the moment we respect that, we have a better community of people who understand and respect each other's efforts, so that at the end of the day, no one will end up working for anyone, and no one will end up just taking from someone without giving them something back. So this is the basis of the discussion that we are having, that we need you to also give us your experiences in things that you do not understand, and the things that might have been taken away from you without you not understanding how it all happened, or where you can get someone to also even explain it to you, that you have equal rights just like anyone else. Let's cut through the issues of borders. Let's cut through the issue of color to say, you know what, we have been we are not privileged like these ones. The world has been made common to everyone, and let's not have limits or borders. Let's be people who are productive at the end of the day.
So you have imagine you have a conversation, you say, let us not have. But there are many people who believe in borders.
Yes.
What do we say to them? There are many people who believe in territories. What do you say to them? Because life itself without exclusion, what is it? What would then make private? When you say it's my bedroom, it's my garage, even the car itself, if it finds another car parked there, what would the car say?
Thank you for bringing that one before we go in far. What I mean by let's not have borders, I mean to say that as a people, we are people who live with exchanging value for value with someone. There's something that you have that I will need. So the only thing that we cannot live as individuals in Ireland, but when it comes to property, something that someone has worked for, there's no room for exclusion.
No, the whole basis of government is to take and give. Government is not a factory of money.
Yes.
So it depends on people bringing money in, and the money goes out. So the essence of government itself has to be understood.
True.
So when we understand it, then we say, what kind of society do we need? That is a negotiation.
Yes.
So what you are doing now is advocating a new society. You are not saying the old society is bad.
Yes.
But you are saying to optimize on the potential of human beings. How best do we design it?
Yes.
If we say work hard, get less, it means you won't have an incentive to work.
True.
So how do we balance? And this is the balance that we say knowledge brings.
Yes.
It tames those people who may not be industrious, who may not be adventurous, but they are tamed. That's what mentorship does.
True.
It tames those who are ambitious. If I go to work today and someone offers me 5,000 rand, I say I don't want it, but I have nothing to eat at home. So what would I rather do? I would rather have something that gives me fuel than have no fuel at all, which means I have no motion. So when you are looking at life, and all these people you have seen who have done well in life, they all started sometimes with zero. Just the promise to say, I am building this. So today we are Wednesday.
Yes.
And if you say, thank you, how many people do you have in your list?
58 now, I can proudly say.
But 58 of which people?
Both mentors and mentees.
No, but which people? If we say 58, how many people have responded in total? Where is that number?
From Facebook.
Where is that number? Where is the consolidator? So he says, Wednesday, I started with 50 people on Monday. Today I'm what? 58.
There's a comment that came in
Yeah.
now, and it's Sovereign Mr. Ndoro. And I think in relation also to what Oscar was talking about and what you were saying, he said that humanity needs thoughtful, careful, nouns. I even Google nouns, I'm like, what does nouns mean? Scientifically minded thinkers, more now than ever before. This quote is by Phil Torres. I even Google nouns, I'm like, okay, I like that it sounded nouns. And nouns means shading, and it also means modulation or degree.
So humanity
basically,
needs.
more thinkers now.
Okay. Who is Mr. Humanity? Or Miss Humanity? Huh?
Humanity is an individual. It's me.
No. Then you say I need.
Yes.
I need
Yeah. So Phil Torres was speaking on behalf of what? Huh? Who gave him the authority?
To exclude himself from humanity.
No, to speak on behalf. What about if I need to think less, to be thoughtless? What if I want to be careless? What if I don't want to be nuanced? What if I don't want to be scientifically minded thinker? Does that exclude me from humanity?
No, it doesn't.
But if you say humanity needs, then what are you saying about those who opt out?
Okay. That aha moment. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So if we're going to talk about humanity, in fact, I was having a discussion with the same Mr. Ndor, which he came up on this. Hi there, ever thought of crowdfunding for 1873 for both radio and TV? Are you, my response, are you happy with the content before we reach out to the crowd? Because crowdfunding is crowd. Yeah?
Yes.
Then there's too much preaching by presenters instead of messaging through guests and robust discussions. The musical content needs close attention. So do you suggest that we go for crowdfunding when there is preaching? No, there's need to fix that and then go for the crowdfunding. How best do we fix this when the group set up to do this is redundant? It doesn't have language message. We're saying power. She's not talking about organization. She's talking about Torres, who says we must be thoughtful. But what is the better thought than acting? Because he's talking about you, that you're on air to preach. Then he says institutionalize it, create a board of directors and a core management team. I create this superstructure of board of directors who may not even have an interest in radio. Huh? How do you infuse interest in people? Some people wake up at 5. You guys have been there, what? Every day. On the radio station. How many days? Do you even know what 6 a.m. is in the bed?
No.
Huh? You can't even remember. But imagine, I go and say, you are a PhD, come and sit on the board. But I wake up at 9. Would you be satisfied? Work has to be done. How many of us have built empires out of families? Each one waking up at 4, getting things done. Yeah? But other people don't want to do this. Ever wonder, this is my comment, ever wonder why most small and medium enterprises have no boards apart from the cost and commitment? Not all people have service mentality. Some have a best mentality. Some will be asking, why don't you have a board? But they don't want to serve. Huh? They don't want to take you to the address where these animals called human beings are sitting. Tinashe started the Director Institute, is it?
Yes,
Is it brain dead already or is it living?
it is living.
So where is it going? He is asking, where are these directors? Then Shingai said, yes. People want corporate governance, but it is not costless. It is not effortless. Because I can have 10 people sitting on the board, but nothing happens.
Yes.
They are waiting for somebody. Even on the radio, there are people waiting for somebody to do something. Only when it affects them personally, then he says, okay, teleconference via WhatsApp, Telegram or Skype, no need for cost. How do you buy commitment? Huh? Where people say, I'll give up this so that I can build the radio or TV station that has the content that speaks to where I want to go. It's easy to say,
Yes, very easy to say.
go and fish these people.
But application. because-
Go to the river. Service requires building blocks and interest. Where do you buy interest?
That's
Huh? Which shop do I buy? Then I said, this is amazing that our listeners are in excess of 800,000. Even with those challenges, where are these people coming from? That is you, the viewer there. You, the person who chooses to download the app, who chooses to go to the website.
action.
And be somebody. We can wait in the terraces and say, produce the best music. Let the legends produce the best music that speaks to our generation. Where do we go? Because if the legends were doing it, you guys would not be here. Where she's sitting, there'll be a legend.
That's true. Yeah.
But why is the legend missing? I was saying to Mr. Mzom, I invited him. I didn't invite him. He says, come to my office. I said, come, I want to show you something. I didn't tell him. If I had told him, he may have decided not to come. But he came unknowing. And that's what life is. Accidents. I meet you by accident. You guys, through webweb, this person came with no expectation, but he left rich.
Wow.
And the burden you have transferred to him. Wherever he's having dinner today, he will say, I met 4 young people. And the words they were using, I don't associate with them. The way they deliver the music, I didn't play a part in producing it. Because if he had produced something, he would have taken you to the address himself. To say, go there. But some people may call you a preacher. Because definitely that's what we... Because if you want robust discussions, tell Shingai, come into the forum. Let's talk about how do we build institutions. Where do we find these directors who are going to serve and not talk to you about ownership? I want to own the company first. I'm being used. Somebody's building a radio station. And I stay in the terrace and not know that the radio station is just a platform for people to exchange views. Imagine I build a road. Somebody says, why did you build it? You must provide the cars again. Then after that, pay for fuel. After that, find the drivers who not have an accident. Because my road doesn't want accidents. Find drivers who are not going to text on the road. because I know better. And we spend time in these WhatsApp groups and say what? Yeah, we take Mr. what? Humanity needs. And what do I need? I just need a place to sleep. I just need a better life. But what does Thing say? Power! Definitely sharing this. What are you sharing? Share things that confront you every day and say, this is me.
Somebody just started going to preach right now.
Okay.
Take me to church.
Okay. There are a lot of situations that are happening, a lot of examples that can be given, a lot of experiences that we face and I face as an individual.
Yeah.
But one thing that I'm drawing from all this conversation, and one thing that I've learned personally, is to say that time is important. It's very important, and I might not have a second chance to prove or to show my worth to the world, or to also show or to produce something that is of value if I just sit back and fold my hands and do nothing about it. Ideas, we have ideas every day, but the moment that, I like that other song that we sing that says one individual at a time.
Yeah.
Meaning to say, if I focus on running my race, I will not wait for someone else to. I now understand why you say don't say we.
Yeah.
Because we, it's an excuse for not doing something. You don't want to do it. You want to say, I know someone else. That's what you're simply saying.
Yeah.
That someone else has to do it, not me. So one thing that I'm learning is, if there's anything that I'm good at, if there's anything that you are good at, that you know that this thing, if I focus on it, it will become something of value. That's what the world needs. That's what you need, I think, before we go any far. Because what you work on, you're on towards actually what you work on, you're on and building it up to become something. That thing will also take care of you back, because it's something that is of value.
I like what you said. Actually, you reminded me of, by the way, I think it would be great sometimes, when you sing the lyrics, like change the world is true verb, and then we've got like an auto cue so that our viewers can see the words. It's actually quite amazing, because when I listened to the breakfast show, and we also played the song today, True Purpose, and my favorite part in the song is every second, every minute, every hour has a measure, and time measure makes a sequel. So that for me stood out, because it also boils down to the fact that how are you using your time? Every second, every minute. How you utilize your second now actually equals the end result. Therefore, you need to respect the process. And I liked what you say, Mr. M, with regards to how do you buy commitment? And service requires building bricks and interest. Hence, it's a...
You move, yeah. I just quote Sister John Rhodes.
Yeah.
He said, I found out one thing, and that is, if you have an idea, and it is a good idea, if you only stick to it, you'll come out all right.
Don't just jump.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. The rest will follow. Just stick to it,
Stick to the plan.
and you become good at that idea.
Yes.
You become the master of
That idea.
Yes.
You always come right. But if you have no idea, and every day you are floating, and you are looking for this, you are looking for that. If you are saying, I want to be able to be the best communicator, it means something has to be profound, which is what we were saying. That's what Wildfire shared with you, so that tomorrow's show, you understand what is it, what it is, whether it's mentorship, whether it's leadership, whether it's a property ownership, who has a better claim to it, how it operates, and what part is a gift of nature. That part which is a gift of nature, I give credit to Allah, I give credit to God, but how men appropriate the gifts of nature to
And
themselves?
personalize them. Yeah.
Then they say, because I exist, I must have.
Entitlement.
Yeah.
Heated discussion.
Why that is a problem in the society. And as a result of this illiteracy, we are having mentorship.
Yes.
Because if there is no distance, there's nobody who has traveled like Mr. Welcome Zomi. There are things that you can learn. And there are things that he can learn from you. Because today, you also learned from him that he is also black. He thinks in black and white. And I think when he left, he learned something from you. But actually, I have to shift my thinking. And I have to listen to you. Because when we say we are all, yeah,
Equally free.
and independent, it means he is already limited by your song. You can't say we are half free.
And half independent.
Yeah. So he has already learned
One individual at a time.
at a time that actually the individual does not have a face that I give him. So, Zanella, I hope you are still with us. If you are with us, tell us whether we are going the right direction or whether we are not before we close. So this is you, and have you, when Leroy, when did you last speak to Mr. Tatum?
Yesterday, I sent him a
You don't want to surprise him. We see the man from but Tatum, yeah. Hey, how was Zimbabwe?
Zimbabwe was fine, sir.
Okay.
It was good.
Your best was missing. I think the song was
Why wasn't Tinashe singing bass?
no, he tried, but
Soprano.
I think
Asked him to stop.
people were
Uncle
saying
May.
the new Mandela song does not
Where's the
have.
guy with the
You know,
bag?
there was no mention of Mandela anymore. So it was a new change the world. I think people who were criticizing about idolizing Mandela, I think they were happy.
I console myself with that jingle, remember? That promo?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So they were happy.
It's good to be back.
That's yeah. So you were missed. So you know what difference you make.
Yeah.
There was no one like you.
Yeah.
So that's
Complementar.
that's where we are. So if we have to build this issue together, and Molly has also accepted the message of Sister John Rhodes. So let's look at beyond John Locke. There were a lot of philosophers.
Yeah.
And we have to deal with those ideas. So ideas can give you power. Superior ideas always elevate you. Knowledge itself holds a better promise than money. Once you have knowledge, you can't alienate it from you. It becomes part of you. But money does not have a relationship with man that is permanent. Because every time you spend, you eat, you are reducing the stock.
Yes.
But knowledge, when every time you use it, doesn't reduce. It remains what it is. So it doesn't diminish. But any other resource would have a life. And it expires. It's perishable. Knowledge does not have age. It doesn't perish. It remains powerful in the holder, not in the giver. So if you build a community where knowledge is shared openly and freely, some people may call it a preacher, be a good one. Some people may say, you are a university. Say, yes, I'm a university, but I want to be a good university. Don't apologize. Because there are some people who always criticize.
Yeah,
They always stand on the terrace
all the time.
and say, think like me, act like me.
Fall down.
But how many of us can be cloned? Who do you want to be cloned? But some people will treat you as being clones.
Yeah, wow. What an episode, eh?
So they want to be able to sit on the higher level and look down upon you. Instead of saying, let me be the change that I want to see. Because it is me who is the problem, not the problem that I listen. I mean, Tinashe, can you be somebody you are not?
No, absolutely not. You can only be yourself at the end of the day.
But how many people want you to interview? The way they would want you to interview.
Many.
How many people would want to put words into you?
You should be like this. You should talk like this. You should.
But in the morning when you ask them, I'm going on air at 6 o'clock. Can you work with me?
They are nowhere to be found, those people.
They are nowhere to be found.
But whilst you're in air, that's when they come back in. They tell
Afterward, they tell you
and they
that,
start
can you produce?
firing.
And
and
how do I know? And what was the experience today?
sorry, come again.
About Gary. What happened to Gary? On his own, he couldn't
Yes,
sleep.
yes. We had Gary on
And what
the
did he
Continental. He said
He's moved from text
to voice.
to
now.
voice. Himself.
He works 12 hours a day. The time zone is different, but he makes sure that he tunes into the 1873 FM on the Continental Sunrise Breakfast Show because he finds the conversations very informative and insightful and thought-provoking. He says such conversations, they're not taking place elsewhere. Only on the 1873 FM are these conversations taking place.
Look at you acting it out, brother. Yes.
No, but it's so true. I mean,
But imagine he is in America
yes.
and he gives up his sleep.
Hmm.
And the people who are here,
They're sleeping.
they don't want to give up 1 second.
You want to learn?
They don't want to learn.
It benefits you.
So if we finalize now and just go through what we learned this morning, which is what Wildfire was trying to also communicate with us. We learned of a great man called Aristotle. Plato, who came before, in 462 BC. You know what BC is?
Before Christ.
Before Christ.
It's more than 2,000.
Yeah. So you have 2017 plus 462 years.
It's 2,479.
He argued,
Yes, number cruncher. Yes.
he argued that collective ownership was necessary to promote common pursuit of the common interest and to avoid the social divisiveness that would occur when some grieve exceedingly and others rejoice at the same happenings. Do you understand that?
You can maybe go deeper on that one.
He argued that collective ownership was necessary, which is this kind of socialism, to pursue, or communism, to promote common pursuit of the common interest, and to avoid the social divisiveness that would occur when some grieve exceedingly. We are working together. Some are grieving, crying, and some are going to the bank happy,
Yes.
and others rejoice at the same happening. We are in the same workplace. Somebody says, I have not been paid. Others say they have been paid. And the person who has not been paid does not understand why they have not been paid.
Yes. They fail to
And is grieving
so they fail to understand the
because
aspect
he has
of
never understand the value to say, absent you, who is hurt? Huh? Imagine you die today. Nobody
Notices.
notices.
Yeah. Remember that property last time?
So-
You're like, okay.
Some people want to, if you want to avoid divisiveness, imagine we have inclusivity based on not shared pain,
It doesn't work.
where others work hard
It doesn't work.
and the others grieve. Why did you go to work? Now you're driving a new car and he's grieving. He says, I was at home waiting for you to come home. So imagine it's a marriage. Imagine it's a relationship. Your girlfriend says, you are still on air.
why. What are you doing
But-
there?
yeah. And somebody is grieving.
I don't see anything.
And but when the money comes,
I should be seeing the Louis
the-
Vuitton.
no, it is now called what?
Our man.
Collective.
If for
It's
a
now
buffet
our
call
man.
It's now our money. How dare you spend our money?
Like that.
The way you're just spending our man.
Yeah, on a girlfriend. And
I've always
Remember?
I have supported you through thick and thin.
Remember what you said this time? That if Warren Buffett or if maybe Richard Branson were to call for a deal and then you have a date with Bay,
Yeah.
what would you
Which
tell
one do
Bay?
you go?
Like, Bay, I love you, but Richard Branson loves us more. Let me go.
I'll see you up.
So,
I'll see you after. Oh my God.
so that's what
Yeah,
Plato
I love that day.
was thinking. What did Aristotle say? He responded by arguing that private ownership promotes virtues like prudence and responsibility.
Yes.
That I am responsible.
True.
And it makes you prudent. Where I was supposed to take a helicopter, I walk.
Yeah.
Where I was supposed to walk, I take crutches. I walk slowly because I want to capture. When everyone has a distinct interest, men will not complain of another.
True.
And they will make more progress because because everyone will be attending to his own business. And how many? I say, what is true of doing? Mind your own.
Are you going to be cyber spying?
Yeah. Don't mix your business with my business.
Just pull your wagon. And let me pull mine.
Just so this was what? Aristotle, 1263. Even altruism, said Aristotle, might be better promoted by focusing ethical attention on the way a person exercises his rights of private property, rather than question the institution itself. Imagine somebody says you got a lot of money, you must give it up. That you must be altruistic. You must be philanthropic. And you find someone with a big idea. They says, okay. What next? I wanted money to do the things I want to do. You were there with Sam. What was he saying? His
For his project.
yeah. He says, no, I got a break idea. But I need you to complete it. Is that an idea? That's what
Because it doesn't have fruits.
that's what Aristotle was saying. That please don't question my private property. Because the money that I have is not yours. Otherwise it will be in your bank.
It's my money. Yeah.
Now you want me to exchange value for nonsense. And you call it progress. Then Aristotle also reflected on the relation between property and freedom. The two are related. And the contribution that ownership makes to a person's being a free man, and that's suitable for citizenship. That without property, why do you want to be even vote? What are you protecting?
Nothing.
Because in the animal kingdom, there is no government.
Yes. Because there's nothing
So-
to protect.
So the Greeks took liberty to be a status defined by contracts with slavery. And for Aristotle to be free was to belong to oneself. To be one's own man. Whereas the slave was by nature the property of another. Self-possession was connected with having such sufficient distance from one's desires to enable the practice of virtuous self-control. On this account, the natural slave was unfree, because his reason could not prescribe a rule to his bodily appetite. Imagine I have an appetite. That is big. And the wallet is empty.
Ish.
Aristotle had no hesitation in extending this point beyond slavery to the condition of the meaner sort of workman. You know the meaner sort of workman? Obsessed with need. I need this. My children need, I need money, I need this. The poor are too degraded to participate in politics like free men. You could no more make a city out of paupers than out of slaves. They must be ruled like slaves, those with no money.
Okay.
For otherwise, their pressing and immediate needs will issue in envy and violence.
Contentious.
Do you understand that point?
True.
Huh?
I get it.
Okay, what is your getting?
Okay, due to the fact that there's a need to survive, it will result in covetousness that we're talking about, that you would envy or you'd have a great need for something that is probably not yours.
So if you work hard, and those who don't work, what do they become? When they look at you, even in the corridor, oh,
Yeah.
why are you working so hard? Huh? Why are you waking up in the morning early? You.
You
Yeah.
must see.
What you are doing
You're selling, you're a sellout.
is it's not good for us. Yeah? It's time to eat now. It's time
You're
to.
too much, you're an
Yeah.
overachiever.
I have to
Yeah,
go
you're too
home now.
ambitious. Yes, that's the one. You're too
I
ambitious.
have to go home now. But you're messing us up. Please never do it again.
Slow down.
Don't slow down.
Huh?
We-
Why don't you guys go home?
We know. I know who is making you work hard.
How much do we have?
How much are you earning? How much is he giving you?
Sit here, that'll be
Yeah?
great.
And you are working hard for a person who's not even grateful.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Who? So that's what he says. They must be ruled like slaves. Those people who don't know their purpose.
And then there's a term they use, mass.
For otherwise, their pressing and immediate needs will always issue, manifesting what? In envy and violence. That's why you have Venezuela is violent.
Justice, yes.
Even Zimbabwe, they're looking and saying, this is service level protest.
delivery
The
protest,
person,
yeah.
the person says service level, but he has not caused the services to be there. But he's demonstrating.
Okay, that's something to do.
Huh? And burning property in the name of xenophobia. Huh? It will always issue in envy and
Covetousness.
violence. So on that note, have we understood
Yes,
what
Yeah.
today we were trying to learn
very clear.
From-
Actually,
from this man called Aristotle?
that. Please share it with me.
So I think Shingai says something is yours if you put effort and time of yours into it.
Yes.
Powerful statement from a mentoree. I guess Shingai, you are by default agreeing to be mentoree because you have not stated where it's coming from. So let's all share knowledge. So I hope you've understood that even Locke, before Locke, even he relied on the shoulders of what?
Of others.
Giants, yes, and others.
Individuals like
Yeah.
Plato who came before
So
him.
you want to do salute the living. You remember it?
Give me the yay. This is an experiment.
Yeah, this is an experiment.
I wasn't doing this.
So we want to.
I think you
wanna
wrote
say
it
that?
somewhere. Wait. Simba, can you play just what he was doing?
I'm gonna get my phone.
Okay.
Reality TV, hello. Aristotle.
Salute to all the living legends.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, you get challenged every day.
So you can come. We know we're abusing you, but
We missed that verse.
you miss your voice. So that's
It makes sense. You come here.
yeah. So yeah, you can sit Dinashe there.
Over here.
Okay.
Steady, steady.
It's a gift using gift to purpose.
All right.
I think yeah.
Salute. 1, 2, 3. Salute to all the living legends who've made a difference to humanity. Salute to all the living legends whose shoulders that we all stand down. Salute to among us who've taken the gifts and give it to purpose.
I've taken the gift to purpose.
Yo, salute to all. Okay. Salute to those
So,
among
that's a
us
very
who
beautiful
take
song.
their
Yeah.
gifts
Yeah.
and give it to purpose by discovering your showcasing it. Oh, okay. Whew, all right.
From the top.
From the top.
From that.
1, 2, 3. Salute to all the living legends who've made a difference to humanity. Salute to all the living legends whose shoulders we all stand on. Salute to those among us who take the gifts and give discovering and showcasing and recognizing. Yeah. Salute to all the living legends who made a difference to humanity. Salute to all the living legends whose shoulders that we all stand on.
Whose shoulders?
Stand on.
No, whose shoulders we all can stand on.
Oh, we
he
all
said that.
can.
Yeah.
He said that when he was writing.
Yeah, whose shoulders we all can stand on.
It's like what she said.
Yeah,
With
And I'm
regards
trying
to-
to,
yeah.
whose shoulders we
We all can stand on.
all
I'm trying to also.
And who put their gift to purpose.
Okay, and who put their gifts?
To purpose. Who put their gift to purpose.
Okay. Who put, and then he said who take.
Yeah. Who put.
This was okay.
Feel free to also share your lyrics. You know? Yes? Viewer?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Comment
Yeah.
Purpose.
Looks like thieves here.
Gift to
The
purpose.
doctor's handwriting.
It gives true purpose.
Oh, gifts to.
To purpose.
Okay.
To
purpose.
Mm.
The content, the
Is that
lyrical
good
content.
handwriting?
I don't know.
Which one?
Yeah.
Who gift? Who do
Who put their gifts to purpose?
to purpose.
Okay. Okay, one on. Okay, where was the gift? Salute.
Salute to all the
Salute to all the living. Okay.
Okay, just hold on.
Yeah, this is a challenge, yo.
And you're taking it on. As you take the book on your hand.
This is the guy was singing. Okay. Salute. Okay.
People join Pearl, Gangarawi, welcome talent, Tazitia.
I don't remember what he was doing exactly.
So you know that.
Yeah. Yes.
Then the ripples at the end. Ripples.
Yeah.
Okay. There's
Okay. Shock and arrogance. And recognizing.
what?
So first you discover diverse, you got it there. You got diverse,
What?
the diverse courage.
Oh yeah, there is by discovering, showcasing, and recognizing their diverse act of courage and beliefs.
Yeah.
So we bring
Repose of hope.
ripples,
Repose.
ripples
Yeah.
of hope.
Okay. It's like water. Bring repose.
Okay.
The repose, yeah. R-I-P-P-L-E, yes.
Interesting.
Okay.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Challenge 101. It's beautiful and you're doing it beautifully, hey? All of you. Sure.
I was singing bass that time.
Okay.
I was singing bass. Yeah.
I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna stream it. Listen.
Singing bass big time.
Okay, so go ahead.
Are we still going on?
Yeah.
One more time.
They are waiting for you.
We're practicing.
I
That was a
think
dry
we have
run.
1,000 people who are. Okay.
Salute, salute to all the living legends. 1, 2, 3. Salute to all the living legends who've made a difference to humanity. Salute to all the living legends whose shoulders we all can stand on. Salute to all the living legends who push their gifts to all. Oh my God. Okay.
So you have to go up here.
Let's not stop. Let's keep going.
Salute. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to get the melody that he was. Okay. Salute to all the living legends who've made a difference to humanity. Salute to all the living legends whose shoulders we all can stand on. Salute to all the living legends who put their gifts to purpose by discovering and showcasing, recognizing
And recognizing.
and recognizing.
I love the show. It's
Yeah.
so
I'm gonna do this song tomorrow, y'all.
Yes.
I'm gonna react on it.
Yes,
So just cut me some slack tonight. Salute to
Ah.
all the legends. You know what I mean? Yeah.
We're gonna cut ourselves like that.
Yeah. We have come to the end of the show. Yeah. We just gonna end it in style. Yeah. Oh. Salute to all the living legends who've made a difference to humanity. Salute to all the living legends whose shoulders we can all stand on. Salute, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Woo!
We'll meet tomorrow, everybody.
Fly us to your ex. Yes. Shift us to your paradigm.
187.
Oh, shift us. I like the lyrics are beautiful. The lyrics are very, very beautiful. For me, for me, my last words in all honesty, I remember when we were starting out, and what I'm happy about is the fact that we've started, and things were shaky but they were amazing, and now we have improved. We're still going there, as a station, as a TV platform as well. And I remember one of the key things that we shared on the group was critical thinking. When you're doing a show, apply the 5 W's and an H. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. And in radio, basically when you're doing a story, the who is who was involved, what happened, when did it happen, where did it take place, and why did it happen. Just flip the script with regards to the Mentee cycle and say, who are you? Do you want to be involved in this whole initiative? What should it take for you to actually be involved? These are the questions that you need to ask yourself and self-introspect. When is it happening? When it's happening now, as you can see. Where is it happening? www.the1873network.org, where you need to register and be an active member and player and register, pay your once-off 1,000 fee, and then let us roll. And why should it happen? It's happening because you need to decide to unleash the greatness that you possess already, but you cannot unleash it if you're not part of an association. So let's build together, like Mr. M was saying, that ideas that you have are the power. The ideas that you have are very, very powerful, and knowledge is very powerful, and it's not perishable. So how? How is it happening? Well, you can witness the magic here. We are rehearsing with you. This is reality TV. We are literally transparent. Everything is happening live. So yeah, 5 W's and an H. Do apply it. And after you're done applying it, give us a tinkle and register. We're done. Yeah.
I think there's no other way to end it.
And that brings us to the end of our show this evening.
Yeah.
To the end of this show, still I can't let it go. It's so natural. You belong to me. I belong to you. Come to the end of the show. Still I can't let it go. It's so natural.